So Nick, did you know you can make passive income in crypto? Did you know that?
Absolutely. I know I can make passive income. That's what I'm currently doing right now to pay my expenses.
Interesting. When I first got into crypto, I did not know you can make passive income. This is, you want to understand this because you want to diversify into all aspects of crypto if you have the time and the risk tolerance. So let's dive into the three ways you can make passive income. And let's start with the most basic one, which is staking.
Okay. We can talk about staking on the Binance Smart Chain with PancakeSwap. We can come over here to the computer. Um, I've got PancakeSwap pulled up. They have several different pools and farms that you can stake your cake tokens in to earn various rewards. The most basic is what they call the stake cake pool. If you leave it in there for any amount of time, this is called flexible APY. They actually recently updated their contract within the last week. So you actually have the option now of doing flexible, which is pretty low in terms of what I've seen out there currently, 8%. Or if you lock your cake tokens up to a year, like look at this. If you put $10,000 into cake token and stake it for a year, they're paying 177% right now. So the risk there is you stake your cake for a year, but you don't know what the value of the cake token is going to be a year from now. It could be higher, it could be lower, but there's some risk involved. And I'm not even 100% sure how PancakeSwap is paying this high of yields. I know they get some income from the transactions in the pools, like for providing liquidity. There's always a fee associated with moving your funds from either BNB token to Cake or to any of the other coins that are on this exchange. Um, Sticking with PancakeSwap just a little bit longer, we can go to what they call farms. And this is where you're providing liquidity for the actual exchange of tokens from, like, if you look right here, they've got this Cake BNB farm. It's paying 42.8% right now. They got $195 million of liquidity. This essentially, you would take, say you had $100 worth of cake and BNB, you would split those into two. So $50 a cake, $50 a BNB, just for example purposes. You would throw that into this liquidity pool and you can earn 42%.
Right.
And the risk there is you don't know, like when you pull that liquidity back out when you need the funds, what the values of the cake and BNB token are, because they can fluctuate. BNB may be a lot higher, maybe a lot lower. Cake may be a lot higher, maybe a lot lower. And that risk is called impermanent loss.
Right. So I think we got the terms mixed up here because some of these are interchangeable. I think we should consider the PancakeSwap more of like the decentralized finance, liquidity pools, yield farming, where using PancakeSwap you need a little bit more know-how. So that'd be a little bit more complicated for
that's
the.
actually going to be a video that we're going to do in our beginner's guide course that we're going to be creating. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to do that to kind of show our viewers how.
So there's a little more know-how on that.
Mhm.
There's a little more risk. Basically, the higher the APY, right? You're obviously making more money because it's a higher API, but that comes with more risk, right? There's more risks associated, which Nick kind of just mentioned. But the easiest thing users can do to get started is staking on an exchange. And we've mentioned this before. We like Voyager. It's a great app, great up and coming exchange trading app. And their staking is super simple. It's an exchange. I'm just going to pull it up on my phone here. You just hold your funds on the exchange and you get rewarded because you're essentially providing liquidity to the exchange. And they pay you monthly in reward fees. So that's like the most basic way to stake. So you're just holding your funds on the exchange, providing liquidity, and they reward you. So it's like a glorified savings account.
What are some of the rates that Voyager's paying right now?
So the best thing you can do is just stake USDC, which is just the US dollar equivalent.
Yeah, it's just a stable coin. What are they paying on that right now? Like 9%?
You get 9%, and the minimum required amount is $100. If you hold Bitcoin on there, it's a little over 3%. If you hold Ethereum, it's 3.75%. They have most coins on here. Polkadot is 12%. Let's see what else on here that looks good.
But yeah, that's Voyager. That's an exchange that we like. We have the link in the description below that will show our viewers how to get signed up on Voyager.
Right. So
And
it's
I believe if you only have to invest like $100 and you get $25 in free Bitcoin if you use our referral code.
yeah. So if you sign up with the link in our description, we get $25 free worth of Bitcoin just by signing up and trading with or depositing $100. And even if you don't trade and you want to just buy USDC coin, hold that on the platform, you can earn 9% APY, which is what I do. I think it's like a super simple way to earn 9%.
It's super simple and it's
very safe. It's a publicly traded company.
So much better return than any of the banks are paying right now.
Right. So we went over like decentralized finance first, which is like the yield farm, liquidity pools, staking, which is like the most basic staking. There's other forms of staking you can do for higher APYs on different platforms, but they're higher risk and it's more complicated. So we won't get into that now because there are many other ones, but we're just not going to go over that. The third thing is mining. So with crypto mining, you're actually using hardware, right? So it's computers or graphics cards or designated hotspots or miners that are servicing the blockchain and the network for that specific coin by...
Yeah, I know one project that you're actually mining on, you've got some miners for is Helium HNT. You want to talk a little bit about that and how much you can earn from that?
Yeah, so with mining, it's different for every coin, for every project, but essentially you're providing coverage, proof of work, or you're providing some service to the network to keep it going, to the blockchain. The simplest one to get up and running that I'm involved with is Helium. So you buy these little hotspots. It's basically like a radio frequency hotspot. You have an antenna, you plug it in, or you can even use Wi-Fi, and it provides coverage to the network via the antenna. And you get rewarded by providing coverage, and you're getting paid in HNT, which is the native coin. So you're servicing the network by providing coverage.
What does one of these miners cost? I'm just curious. So I don't know that much about Helium.
The average one is going for like 500, but I think they're changing the dynamics of like what the miner outputs and the hardware requirements. So I think they're actually going to be decreasing in price soon. I think they're converting it to what's called light hotspots. So that's like the most basic one you can get into is Helium. There's other projects which require more hardware. So if you want to mine like Bitcoin or Ethereum, you could do, so basically you can mine with graphics cards for a computer, like a gaming computer. So one graphics card is not going to, get you very far. You may earn like $1, $2, $3. But if you look online, you do like a quick search, you look on Reddit or whatever, any of these forums, you see these guys stacking all these graphics cards, and they have like these humongous shelves and like rigs built out, just stacked with 10, 20, 50, who knows how many graphics cards. So that's a little more tech savvy, because then you got to link up all these graphics cards. You need the power requirement, the electricity requirement, but the more you stack, the more you earn.
And also based off of the difficulty of the mining, I know, at least I haven't looked into mining that recently, because at one point it got like to the point where miners were losing money because the price of Bitcoin wasn't high enough to actually sustain with how high the difficulty got for mining for Bitcoin. I don't even know where it is.
So with certain coins like Bitcoin and other coins, the requirements to mine are very high. Like
it's like a high barrier to entry at this point.
You need high output computers that have industrial grade hardware. They require a lot of electricity to run on. They're super loud. So you can't just you're not going to run it in your house because it's so loud and it requires so much electricity. You need, like an industrial grade outlet. You can't just plug it into like a normal wall outlet because the electricity requirement is so high. And then on top of that, the hardware cost is significant. So if you wanted to buy like a legit miner, for said project, whatever it is, you're talking about spending like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. I've seen even $50,000 and up for, you know, a hardware miner. So the difficulty of the know-how of setting it up, the cost, and everything, it's just a lot higher barrier for entry. So that requires more research. The helium mining is basically like plug it in, set it, and forget it. And you're just plugging it into your router using Wi-Fi, and then you just earn passive income. So that's the most easiest, basic way. So basically everything we mentioned, there's like a very beginner-friendly way, and then there's more advanced ways which require more risk, but the rewards are higher. So
yeah, so it sounds like there's three things we talked about. We talked about Voyager, just going on there and staking. That seems to be the easiest way for staking.
We have DeFi.
There's DeFi finance. There's going on to PancakeSwap on the Binance Smart Chain. You can earn higher APYs, but it's a little bit more complicated to get that set up. We're definitely going to go over that in our course that we're creating. And then mining, which has a little bit higher barrier to entry and a little more know-how, but you can also earn passive income through mining.
Yeah. All right. I think we'll wrap it up there. Those are some good ones.
All right. Sounds good, Rob.